What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be checking out Leatherface from Party City. So the other day I went to a Halloween City. I've never been to one of these stores. I don't really have any around me, but I work almost an hour away from home, and there was one about 15 minutes away from work. So I decided, what the heck, I'm going to go up there, check it out, see what I can find. So when I got there, I walked right in. Leatherface was standing right there, staring me in the face. I went up and I tried to activate him, and I hit his step pad. He did his normal shake. He did his crazy growls and moans, or whatever the heck, his weird noises he does. But you heard the chainsaw wanting to try to activate, but it did not activate. So I was like, well, he's broke. Go figure. I was looking around. They didn't have any in the box, brand new. So whatever. I went about my day. I went shopping. I found the Evil Deer taxidermy. They had a ton of those in stock. So I picked one of those up. I picked up Michael Myers' tombstone. And I picked up a few other things. And I was just browsing around the store. It's a little bit different than Spirit. So I was just in there checking it out, walking around for a while. I was probably in there for a good hour and a half. Just kind of perusing through the aisles, just going slow, taking my time, making sure I didn't miss anything. And if something was there that I was thinking about buying, I was definitely going to buy it. So I was looking at a lot of the masks and the little props. And most of the stuff was kind of like, holy crap, you want $20 for this little donut that has like fingers and stuff on it? Like, no way. And then ice cream cone. And the one thing that I really did like was the caramel apple with the little skull, but it was $20. And I was like, no way. Maybe on half off I might go check it out and see if that store does a half off day like Spirit does. Then I might go check that out. Beyond that, their prices were pretty steep. They had a cool groundbreaker, but he was $50, and I was like, I'm gonna have to bring him home and actually foam fill him, because he was just latex with like, I don't even know, it was like pool noodle foam on the very bottom of him, and the rest of him was like hollow. It was weird. So it was just like a latex mask, but just pool noodle foam on the bottom of him. So I left there, and I was up there paying for my deer taxidermy and my tombstone, and I bought a mask too. But I was up there and I asked the lady, I was like, would you sell the display model of Leatherface? And she didn't understand what I said. And she's like, hey, do we have any more Leatherface up there? Asking the other lady standing over there. And she goes, we don't have any boxes over there, so no, we don't have any. And I was like, no. I'm like, would you sell this one? Like, would you sell this guy right here, this one? And she goes, oh, yeah, sure. I was like, but I noticed that his chainsaw doesn't activate. Like, everything else works. It's that I just noticed his chainsaw doesn't go up. She's like, yeah, I can give you a discount on that. So he was $325 regular price. They gave me 25% off of him. They took $82 off. So they gave me 25% off and took $82 off of him. So, I mean, he was under $300, well under $300. You can't find this thing. I can't find it around here. I've been trying all season long. This was the number one thing I wanted, and I couldn't find him, and I was getting super bummed and about to just completely give up because I could not find him anywhere, because we don't have a Party City around here, and we don't have Halloween cities around here. So, they helped me tear him apart. I took my other stuff out to the truck while they were pulling down his adapter and starting to tear him apart for me. When I got home, I got to looking at him, and inside, he has two huge springs that help keep tension when he raises that chainsaw all the way up. So I was watching it activate. I heard the motors turning, so I knew, okay, the motors are turning. So I know it's doing the motion to raise the chainsaw. And then I got to watching it when it actually did the flick motion. It actually shot the one spring off. So the welds actually broke on the very back. So there's just two metal bars that stick off of his back, right behind his shoulders in the back. and they just stick out, and then they have metal rods kind of welded under it for support. Well, one doesn't have that support, and that's the one that's snapped. And so obviously when one doesn't have tension, the other one is not going to be able to make up the difference to allow the chainsaw to work. So after I got to looking at it, I said, I bet you if I just weld that on there, it'll be good as new. So I tore it all apart, took it into work. Had a buddy of mine weld this thing up for me, and he took the other side and welded the crap out of that too, so it's welded completely solid, because all he had was very, very minimal tack welds, and it was barely a tack weld on the one side because didn't even penetrate the metal. It didn't even mar up the other side of the metal. So their welding is absolutely terrible, especially when they're charging you $325 for this shit. Like, this is ridiculous. So I got him all fixed up. So I brought him home after I got it all welded up. I put it all together today, put his head back on, and hooked his springs up, hooked all the wiring back up, put his costume back on, and everything worked as it should. So I got a fully working prop for $82 less. So I'm going to go ahead and turn him on and show you what this big scary bastard does. So as you can see, Leatherface here works perfect. Everything works as it should. His chainsaw flings up in the air, and it's probably a hell of a lot smoother than what they give you at the store, because this thing is welded like a rock now. So I am super happy with it. This thing has been an absolute nightmare to try and get my hands on. But overall, I love this thing. This is hands down the best one. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about the Lowe's one, and I was going to buy that one because I couldn't get my hands on this one. But this is one big son of a bitch. This dude is huge. The only thing that I don't really like about it, but it is plastic, is the big nasty plastic seams in the hands. They could have sanded these down a little bit better before they painted. They could have put some stuff on there to hide the seams a little bit. But overall, I mean, the mask on him, you know, it's a latex mask. It definitely looks awesome, looks legit. The hair looks legit. The outfit is spot on, movie accurate. The chainsaw is nice. The coloring of it. The only thing that's hokey is the blood splatter. And obviously, it's just, you know, their version of fake blood when they do these props. So you could get in here with perma blood and put a bunch of perma blood on here and make it look like it's real wet, actual nice blood. And same with this, you could flick some perma blood on his clothes and his gown and all this stuff and his apron. But we could bloody him up a little bit more. But overall, I'm super happy with this thing. For it being the display model, the lady's like, yeah, you know, these really get the hell beat out of them throughout the season. I'm like, yeah, I understand that. But I was okay with it if he didn't work. But when I got home and I noticed it was a weld, I said, I bet you anything, if I weld that, it's going to work. And I was right. So I took a gamble on it, and this time I won. So either way, I was happy with it, if it worked or not, because this thing's going to sit like this on my porch, not on anyway. But yeah, this dude is creepy. He looks super realistic, especially with the eyes that you can barely see in there. But he is fantastic. And if we take a good look at him, and I'm staring at the movie version of him over here, but we can show you this Leatherface door cover that I have over here, and he looks spot on. I mean, he is pretty spot on to this door cover. The mask, the clothes, the apron, the tie, everything is accurate as hell. So let me know down below in the comments what you think of Leatherface, and if you've had the opportunity to actually see him in a store or pick him up for yourself. And I will catch you on that next video. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you for watching. Get out there and make some cool stuff, or pick up some really cool stuff like this guy. See you guys tomorrow.